Welcome back to the channel, everyone. We did draw against Bournemouth 1-1. Boylan scored the late equalizer to salvage a draw for us. I heard what Amorim said. I've watched the reviews that I do. I've read, reviews of various people about that particular game. But I couldn't watch the game because our entire suburb, just as the game started, we went without electricity for the rest of the Sunday and certainly into the Monday as well, which basically found myself unable to do any type of videos. But like I said, I watched the highlights and we created chances. We should have won the game. We were, up against 10 men after the red card. But again, the players, some of them just couldn't be asked about any results in the Premier League this season. Because honestly, there's nothing to play for. We have West Ham coming up and they are in 17th. And if they win us, we could fall further down the table. Now, of course, we'll talk about money and how much you can earn for the place that you finish in the Premier League. But that doesn't really matter when you look at how Manchester United's players approach games. And on the same day that Liverpool win their 20th title, equaling titles of all time with Man United, it pains me to say that. I'm avoiding social media to not look at any Liverpool celebratory images or videos because our entire history, as great as it is now, shall I say, erased. Everything Sir Alex Ferguson worked for seems to be gone. Our rivals continue to win trophies. Arsenal could be winning the Champions League if they get past PSG and win the final, whether it be against Barca or Inter. City is going to their third FA Cup final in a row. They've won four Premier League titles in a row before that. Before Liverpool won this one, they could have done five in a row had they been better this season. And I certainly am not happy about our rivals continually doing well, improving, and winning trophies around us. And not just that, you have the likes of Aston Villa, Nottingham Forest, Bournemouth, etc., all improving, and we have to get past them before we can even look to try and compete with the likes of Liverpool and City and Arsenal. You know, I am certainly really, really upset. I'm in pain that Liverpool have won another title. I mean, every Man United fan, you can try and not care about it, but it happened. They are Premier League champions. And that is what we used to be, or at least fighting to be, every single season. But for the past 10, 12 years, we've been absolutely abysmal. Yes, we've won trophies along the way, and we can celebrate in that, especially the trophy wins, against Manchester City in the FA Cup final, the Europa League we won under Jose Mourinho, the Carabao Cup, and that we won under Ten Hag as well was, quite a celebratory moment. But we cannot continue to free fall like this. I don't want us to end 17th in the league. I don't want us to continually go down and down and down. The players must be held accountable. Because Amorim put a strong team out for Bournemouth, and with them being down to 10 men with quite a bit of time left, we should have gone on to win the game. We're still making stupid decisions in front of goal. And if you want to be really, really honest, our forward line is just as bad as a West Ham, just as bad as a Wolves or a Ipswich Town or a Leicester City, because we are at the bottom of the table. And that is simply because we didn't really find ourselves being asked to play and perform in certain games because we could draw at Anfield. We could go to Arsenal and play well at their home stadium, by the way, with 10 men. We won City away from home and drew with them at Old Trafford. So, why is it possible that we can't win or play good or even score goals against the smaller teams? No disrespect to the Bournemouths and the Wolves, etc. But we should be beating these teams. But we can't because one, the players' mentality is not right. Two, we find ourselves being very, very bad in terms of playing out of the back. We have so many players that we need to replace. And I'm not just talking about Hoyland who needs to, improve as a striker. I'm talking about midfielders. I'm talking about we need another right wing back. We probably need another goalkeeper by the looks of it with how bad he is. I'm talking about Onana right now. Man United cannot continue to free fall. Wake up, Man United. We cannot continue to be in the situation where we find ourselves scraping for points, where we couldn't care about certain games and players decide when to turn on their performances or not. Because we scored 3 goals in 5 minutes when we needed to against Leon and ended up winning the game in the most dramatic fashion that you can ever think of compared to any game where we've scored a late winner. That 5-4 against Leon is up there. And then, of course, you also have the mindset of us being 11 against 10 against Bournemouth, and the urgency wasn't there to go and score goals. Garnacho's taking 9 shots a game, and not one of them is hitting the target. It certainly doesn't matter how you look at Man United's season. If we win the Europa League, yes, certainly you can say that is a success. We got Champions League football and all of the positive connotations that come with that. But there is still the potential of us being knocked out by Bilbao, us getting through to the final, but not winning the final of the Europa League. And we can still end up having a disastrous season. Not to say that it hasn't been a disastrous season, because it has been. Where is the mentality of our players when we are needing points? Yes, I get it. We can't get higher than 12th, 13th in the Premier League this season. But surely you want to win games. Surely you want to perform well. Not just for the fans, not just for the coach, not just for the club, but for yourself as a professional player. I'm really, really upset, guys. And I am a bit in pain. Not a bit, I am in pain with the fact that Liverpool won the 20th title. I've been dreading it all season. And it happened. But we cannot continue to free fall like this. Omar Berrada, Jason Wilcox, Christopher Vivell, Ruben Amorim and his backroom staff, Sir Jim Ratcliffe need to get their asses in order and certainly have to start putting us, if we are already not on that track, but getting us on track to start improving and start getting us to a position where we can be consistently good, performing, competing in the top 4, and then competing for top honours, being the Premier League and the Champions League and of course the FA Cup, etc. Man United needs to be competing for top honours again. And hopefully with the way Omar Berrada them are busy with different types of transfer signings in terms of the young, high quality potential players coming in, or we look to go and get the ready-made players in an Osimhen, in a Victor Gyökeres. We will have to wait and see what happens as soon as the season ends. But getting Champions League football will definitely be a massive, massive boost to any type of plans that we want to have for next season and seasons to come. It can definitely kickstart this project that a lot of people are starting to doubt. But Man United, please, please wake up. Stop free falling. Get your arse in order and get to where we know and expect Manchester United to be. Subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching my rant. If you've watched it this far, have a wonderful day further. We'll see each other again in the preview for the Athletic Bilbao game. Bye-bye, Red Devils. Thanks for watching. If you want more content on Manchester United, like, share and subscribe.